I'm leaving New York. I'm
How much of
glad
that song do you
to
know?
be a part of it. New York, New York. Dun, 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 dun. Something, something, something.
What's up, internet world with the News 19 nerds?
You asked how much I know. That's it.
I mean, fair enough. That's probably about all I know too. And then whenever the chorus and refrain pop back in again with the big band sound. But yeah, all right.
Was I supposed to know more?
I mean, not necessarily. I was just curious what you knew. Yeah, we're kind of here. I don't know who's going to come in and who's not going to come in. I was debating with somebody on whether or not we should keep it on Saturday since we started that tradition, or go back to Friday since I was off Friday.
I mean,
I don't know.
we do this for the people.
We do, but granted, it's like we don't know when the people are going to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's kind of
it's up. I mean,
it is up.
Yeah.
I did put it on Instagram. It's on Twitter. Somebody liked it, so we'll get people in as it.
When did you put it up?
About 7.
Okay.
I mean, that's about normal time when I post something anyway. So yeah, it's cool. So what's been going on with you, man?
I want to say something.
Oh, what? Controversial?
Kinda. It's comic related, so I don't want to.
No. IMAX on a Friday, so not tomorrow. That is correct. IMAX, you know how we do. We tell you one thing and then we switch it up. Just to give y'all a little behind the scenes, I was off this week. So I was like, hey, if we can do it Friday, let's do it Friday. That way nobody has to come to be at a station on a Saturday, even though we like doing it. If you don't have to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
So we did Friday. So yes, nothing tomorrow, but yeah.
So I've been going to the comic book store, of course, religiously, and I've been watching this argument online about people in the Punisher, and right now there's a cadre of people who are like, why can't we have a Punisher book or Punisher franchise, yada yada yada, and all these people who are like upset because they're like, the world has gone soft and we can't have a Punisher anymore, and I'm like, yes we can. And they're like, well, no we can't have a Punisher. And I'm like, they literally did 2 seasons of an angry white dude shooting everybody with PTSD, and aren't we on our 4th John Wick movie? Isn't that literally just the Punisher?
And there's a current comic Punisher, right?
Well, there's a new issue came out. People were mad because in this issue, he's a part of the Hand, and they were upset because they changed the logo, and the logo was like a mixture of the hand and a skull symbol, and I just was like, this is dumb, and I was just kind of like,
you're upset that they changed the logo, or you're
no,
upset that
like
people
I don't
were
care.
mad
Like,
at
I guess it's the thing that bothers me when people get upset about stuff in comic books, like when people die in comics. It's like,
They'll be back in a few months.
yeah, basically, the only person who's still dead
Is anybody still dead?
Uncle Ben. That's
Oh.
it.
And wasn't there talks they were trying to bring him back, or no?
I mean, they always try to bring somebody
Okay.
back. But I mean, but it used to be Uncle Ben and Bucky were the only people who were still alive. And Todd, Jason Todd.
Gwen Stacy, right?
Gwen Stacy was back.
But I'm saying for a while she was.
I mean, but there were certain people who were always dead.
Okay.
And then it's like, if they find a way, they'll bring them back. So one of the things a lot of people were arguing about, because again, the Punisher issue just came out this week, and I picked it up. And there's a couple of Punisher things that have happened that are a little much. So there's an issue in the 90s where the Punisher had to hide, and he went through a medical procedure like Soul Man, and he became a black man, and he hung out with Luke Cage. I
Really?
don't make this up.
I mean, Marvel, let's take your shot, man. Say we do whatever we want.
I have some of those issues somewhere.
Wow.
And it's
Wait.
You heard exactly what I said.
I did. I guess I'm trying to figure out what the end game is. So did he get the procedure reversed?
Somehow, yeah.
So he did like a real life Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Cool.
we did this. Like, as a society, we accepted this.
Yeah.
And the new Punisher issue that came out, I'm not going to spoil it for people. Basically, he joins the Hand, and he's their supreme killer, or king of killers. It's a mini-series from Jason Aaron. And people are like flipping out. And I'm like, can you calm the F down? Like, the Punisher was an agent of was like a Hell's Angel, or not a Hell's Angel, like a motorcycle. He was like an agent of heaven and had like angel guns. It was like it was just weird stuff. And I'm just like, trust me, they'll bring him back.
Sure.
And for all those people who are like, we can't do a Punisher. And one day I want to expound upon
Brian
this later.
B. asked, didn't Wonder Woman do that also?
Wonder Woman did all kind of stuff, man.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I mean, Wonder Woman's history, and I really wish they would, like, get a good, let some of the top-notch writers write a Wonder Woman, and because she has some good runs, and then she has some runs you're like, that's what y'all went with? Okay, cool. But I mean, like, the idea that you can't have a dude whose family was killed and he's out for vengeance and he wants to just eradicate the world of crime. Like, we have 9 Die Hard movies. Like...
no spoilers for the new Batman movie, but it touches on the idea of vigilante justice way more than some other Batman movies have in the past, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When it's very interesting.
But we talked about this, and I said, because remember when we did our first initial trailer reaction to, I don't know if it was the main trailer or the fandom trailer, we talked about the fact of, if you're a cop in Gotham, and you're like a good cop, not one of the sleazy cops.
If you're Gordon.
If you're Gordon, like, well, not Gordon, because Gordon is like, I'll take all the help I can get.
Sure.
But if you're like a regular beat cop, and Batman you're just on the beat, and you see Batman go into a building, no arrest warrant, and just beat the hell out of some people, zoom back out.
Sure.
Like, you'd be pissed, because you're like, who is this freak in a costume who I don't know has any training? Like it's an affront to you. But yeah, like this idea that the Punisher, oh my gosh, he's a ninja now, that betrays, like, get over yourselves. Like, I just, it amazes me what hill they choose to die on.
Sure.
And for this, you chose the Punisher. And it's like, we have seen, like, Ghost Rider always drove a motorcycle, right? Or rode a motorcycle. He has a car now. And
that's with Robert Ray.
And people are like, Elizabeth!
I'm coming. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's comics. Like,
for everybody who is coming slowly into the chat, yes, it's kind of a surprise stream. We did put it on our Instagram channel. That's a quick plug. If you don't follow us on Instagram, be sure to follow us there. But we put up about 7 o'clock saying we were going to stream tonight, so we will not stream tomorrow. And then the following week, we should stream Saturday.
yeah.
Hopefully. Although I might be on calls, maybe on Charlotte. I don't know. We'll figure. Y'all know how we do. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah. So Leroy's just he's not really on a soapbox. He's just talking about the latest issues in comics right now.
Well, we were just like, what are you talking? What do you think? And I was just like, comics came out. Like, there are a lot of good issues. Captain Carter's issue came out. I messed up and I didn't pick up the first issue, even though I bought the action figure. I was like, and I
how'd
forgot.
that happen?
Well, I was talking to Eric about Batman, and I forgot to pick it up, because I had a stack of stuff because I hadn't been in 2 weeks.
Are you still? Or is it sold out?
No.
Like the first print or whatever?
No.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
But there's a particular covers that I wanted that looked like the action figure, so I wanted to pair them together, and I didn't see it on the shelf, so I forgot about it.
Okay.
Usually I have a list, and I just forgot.
Okay.
And I didn't have the list with me.
Cool.
So.
You want to get started talking about topics?
Yeah, let's start with Steam Deck.
Okay, sure. What you want to know about Steam Deck?
Why did you buy one?
You mean why? Hold on.
And don't give me the whole I'm done with my money. That, like, why did you buy a Steam Deck versus buying...
First of all, why did I pre-order a Steam Deck? Because I still don't have a Steam Deck yet.
No, I don't have one either.
I'm in the list of along this line,
third quarter, 2022.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get my Steam Deck.
This is 2022, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had to make sure.
Yeah, but I pre-ordered one because I like what the Switch has done, and I just considered it as a layman's terms of it's a more powerful Switch, which seems great to me. The fact that you can hook it up to a TV to make it like a PC if you wanted to, that seemed great. And you have a large library of Steam catalog games that you can play from. Seemed like an awesome deal.
Do you have a huge Steam library?
Nope. I'm slowly building it up now.
Okay.
Because one thing I do like about PC over console is there are always so many stupid cheap sales of, like, you can get 20 games for $5. You may never play them, but I mean, for $5, I'll spend $5 to get 20 games.
Okay.
So I like that idea of being able to take that on the go and play it. The reviews that have come in so far, when it first came out, it seemed like everybody was super positive about the Steam Deck. Now that there's been a little bit more time, I feel like people are still positive, but it's not glowing reviews anymore. I think people have had more time to play with it and see. They can nitpick stuff and get into the nitty gritty of what it does and what it doesn't do.
It's funny that you say that because I feel the opposite, and it also depends on where you get your news from.
Sure.
So like the news sources I was looking at, a lot of people were were not super positive when they first got it, and as they did updates, then became more positive about the console. Okay. And so that's interesting. I almost want to compare. Who did you listen to? And who did you watch?
Probably somebody who I really started watching, who's been doing stuff forever, but I just caught him maybe end of last year. Linus Sebastian.
Don't know who that is.
White guy from Canada, really knowledgeable about computers and tech savvy stuff, and he's really built a following about helping people mod their computers and get into the DIY PC modding stuff. But he's been doing it for years. He's what we ascribe to be.
Okay.
Yeah, but
good.
Yes, good and popular, and competent. So
first of all, sir, we will never be competent.
Okay, maybe we'll just be good and popular.
We'll just be good and popular.
Okay, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
They know what they came here for.
That's true. Y'all came here for us, so you know what you.
This is your fault.
Yeah.
Encouraging us.
But yeah, on his review, he initially enjoyed the system, but he's kind of said there are a few setbacks on it that he wishes to see improved. And you said with these updates coming out, hopefully that will alleviate his fears on what he didn't like about it.
Well, here's one of the things that just came out a couple hours ago was Steam Deck runs Windows Now and Destiny 2. And that was a real big problem but again, it's been out a month. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of those games that had anti-cheat software was hard for it to run.
I've read people saying Elden Ring is not great on Steam. I think it's gotten better. When it first came out, Elden Ring didn't run that well on Steam, but it's getting better.
Here's a blurb from Polygon from Ryan Gilliam. The last line says, theoretically installing Windows 10 means players can also use Xbox Game Pass for PC on the Steam Deck. But all of this functionality, as well as the Steam Deck itself, is still new, and players will likely need a few more weeks to discover the true potential in the Windows Steam Deck.
Quick behind the scenes stuff. So Ken from Chicago says, what the frail? This is not Saturday. It's only a fluke that I saw this live stream. So people who are in the chat now, let us know, so you get the notifications on YouTube. Are you following us on Instagram? Because we did post it on Instagram, and it also went to our Twitter page as well. So let us know if you're following. And going back to last week, did you guys get the post about me working on a playground? I'm just trying to see
is that playground done?
No. Actually, you know what? The base was done. He was still working on the roof part, and I know that he put it together, but I don't know if it's on the playground yet. I might be going back up there this weekend. I don't know.
Well, are you trying not to go up there so you don't have to work on it?
No, I mean, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, we did the hardest part.
Okay.
So just putting a roof on top of it, that's nothing.
Yeah.
We did the blood, sweat, and tears part. But I'm really just asking about it to see if the post went out and people saw it.
Okay.
So just let me know in the chat if y'all saw that post from last week.
All right.
What else are people? Just hadn't checked work after work. Okay, Zayla Maru, good to know. Checking in. AC asked the Batman review. When are we doing the Batman review? I don't know, man.
We don't know, man.
We don't know, man. We don't know.
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Because I liked it.
I did too.
I'm trying not to be a prisoner of a moment, but I'm going to be honest with you. It's in my top 5.
Like all-time movies?
Batman.
Batman movies?
There's 44 of them.
Really? Because you're you're trying to animated movies?
Yeah, yeah. There's I think 44. Huh. But it's definitely, I'll put it like this. It's definitely in my top 5 of Batman movies, period. Okay. It might be in my top 3. I need to see it again.
Is he your favorite Batman?
Oh, Kevin Conroy is my favorite Batman.
Who's your favorite live action Batman?
Kevin Conroy. I didn't stutter.
Never mind. We're not getting anywhere with this conversation. All right, fine. I won't
Chicago,
argue with that.
the reason why I won't say it's, for me, it's not recency bias, and again, I don't want to go too much into this, but I will talk about a little bit of it when we get to our next topic. And Michael brought it up. This was more of a detective movie. And none of the other movies allowed for him to be a detective.
Ooh.
And this is another thing. He made mistakes.
Yeah, he did.
And that's the one thing that I felt like in all the other movies, he was he was almost invincible. And like, yeah, there was Dark Knight Rises, but in this movie, to me, this is the closest we've gotten to a comic book Batman movie.
Okay.
So that's why I said this was more of the Dark Knight detective.
Kim from Chicago, Kevin Conroy was in Infinite Crisis. He was, but Leroy didn't see that version of Kevin Conroy. He's just talking about the cartoon.
I mean, he was.
You didn't see that.
I didn't need to. We did an interview. He told us about it though.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah, when he was at Soda City Comic Con, we did an interview with him, and he talked about being casted in live action. We got him by our booth. It's on our YouTube page.
Yeah, check that out. Yeah, you're right. I can't remember when stuff lined up.
Yeah, because he was like surprised that they called him.
Yeah. Okay. But you didn't see it. You didn't know.
I did know.
Yeah, but I'm saying is you didn't see him.
I don't need to see him.
All right. Anyway, what were we talking about? We're jumping all over the place. We finished with Steam Deck?
No, we're not finished because we were talking about like you hadn't bought one, but you were talking about you were in the reserve.
Yeah, I mean I'm kind of seeing the glass half full of, you know what, I haven't gotten one yet, but that just gives me more time to work all the kinks out.
That's what, yeah.
So I'm kind of happy with that. So by the time I get one, hopefully my Steam Deck, my Steam library will have grown more with more games that I buy.
What are you buying it to play?
Probably, and this might be something that might be hard for it to run, or at least cumbersome for control wise. Probably a lot of RTS games like XCOM and stuff like that. Even turn-based strategy games like Civilization.
Interesting.
I would love to play. I don't know if it's Ammo or Anno. I think it's Anno 1440 by Ubisoft. I've really been getting into a lot of turn-based strategy and RTS games. So I would like to play those on there, probably.
Interesting.
Yep. What you getting it for?
Game Pass.
Does it work on there?
No, but it will by the time I get it.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Cool.
Because the way I'm looking at it is, by the time it comes out, and this is why when the people like don't buy the first iteration, I'm not. By the time they finally ship mine,
yeah, it should be a version 2, point 2 or point 3.
Yeah, whatever. Because this is the thing that I watched. I follow a channel called ETA Prime. And he does like a lot of modding, a lot of cleaning stuff up, and then he buys like a bunch of stuff. And he got one, and I've been watching his. I watched GameSpot. They did their review. IGN did one, and basically talked about the same thing you did. The firmware, they're always getting updates, and how some of the. So here's one of the things that I watched the video, and they were like, here's one of the things that the Steam Deck can do.
Laughing at Avery.
Avery who?
That's how you gonna do Avery?
I know 2 Averys. I know a white Avery and a black Avery.
Which Avery you think I'm talking about? What's up, Avery? Nice to see you in the chat, sir.
He's there?
Yeah.
I don't see him.
He said he was talking about Batman. He said Pattinson only needed one movie to make it into the top 3 Batman movies, and then a bunch of 3 fire. Avery said, "Well, there we go."
Whatever. Avery probably likes the Joel Schumacher Batman movies.
I'm not gonna do that to that man for he can't defend himself.
He can. He can type it right there.
I'm sorry, Avery. That's not called for you, man.
Hey,
I'm
man.
sorry.
I told you we're gonna have a Punisher movie.
Okay,
That's
great.
me. Guns like this.
Herbert Thornton says, "Good to see you guys on Friday. Could you please cover Vox Machina and The Boys Diabolical?" We both seen Vox Machina, right?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, man, I told you, man. I'm behind.
So whenever Leroy sees it, we will do Vox Machina, and I haven't seen Boys Diabolical yet.
No, I hadn't seen that either.
So we'll get to it. We have a long list of stuff we have to get to.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish Umbrella Academy Season 2?
Yeah, I told you that. We had this conversation.
I can't remember because for a while he's like, "I'll get to it."
We had the conversation here on the channel where I had it.
I don't remember.
Because I was like, yeah, Season 3's coming out. And you were like, have you actually watched Season 2? I was like, yeah.
That sounds familiar now that you say that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But no, with the Steam Deck, one of the things, the reason why I purchased it, because I wanted a handheld gaming system. And
But you didn't want to Switch.
I did if they made a Switch 2. But
I mean, you might like the Switch OLED.
I won't.
All right.
Because is it Bluetooth? Does it let you play Netflix?
I mean, I don't think this.
No.
I don't think the Switch 2 is gonna let you play Netflix.
But that was the reason why I wasn't buying a Switch, because if I'm gonna pay that much money for something, it better do as much as this does. Okay. And I'm not saying that the Nintendo Switch.
You want to call people?
I don't need it to. I mean, do you know you can run OBS on the Steam Deck?
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. And I'm not knocking a Switch, and I'm happy for everybody who has one. I almost bought one for my wife, but I didn't particularly want one because I was like, you told me, and you kind of talked me out of getting one when I was thinking about getting one. What?
People in the chat are now kind of like gaslighting about what is and what isn't in the Batman movie. Talking about Batman and Catwoman ice dancing. I was like, all right, y'all having too much fun. Keep going.
Hey, let them have their fun.
Yes.
The world's a dangerous place.
You're right.
That's why you need a Dark Knight. No, but it's like you talked me out of it because when you were like, Nintendo will nickel and dime you for everything, and I was like, I don't want to be taken advantage of, and two, I want to be able to play anything, and the Steam Deck will allow me to do that. There's already games. So we've seen a lot of PlayStation games being ported over to the Steam Deck, the PC. We know that Microsoft is working and has a Game Pass for PC. We know eventually with enough drivers, this system runs better than a PS4 Pro or an Xbox Series, the whatever the last Xbox Series was. Not the new one, but the before.
The One X.
Yeah, whatever the thing is that's out now. So I was like, I want to be able to play Disco Elysium. I can't play that on the Switch.
I don't know if that's
See?
true. No, I don't know if that's true.
I
think it is on Switch.
It is?
I
Does it
think
play as
so.
well as it does on?
I mean, probably not. But I'm saying, I think it might be on Switch. That's
and
why.
that talked me out of getting the Switch.
Okay.
And I was like, and as much as I want to get a Switch, and I thought about getting one, and I may get one eventually when the price comes down, when that 2 drops, that they keep saying they're not going to make. I was like, no, I'll just go ahead and get this. And as I watched some of the people
It
talk
is on
about
Switch.
it, is?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This probably plays better on the Steam Deck. Stabbing Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted a console that I could take with me on the go. And I wanted to play, and I thought it would be cool to play something like Warframe or Destiny, because I know right now you can't play it, but eventually,
Sure.
like if I have some downtime at work, I can just,
I like the idea of like, hey, yo, I can't punch a shell right now. I'm playing the Steam Deck.
I got Wade up there, so be like, you need something to do.
All right, cool.
Yep.
See, Avery, you left too soon, man. If you had waited, you could have been at the station chilling, playing Steam Deck.
I mean, that's his fault. He made those life choices. Ain't nobody told him to leave.
Oh man, jeez.
But yeah,
So what was the thing you asked me? Is this the future of handheld gaming?
yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
Really?
maybe, but I don't like. It's tough for me to answer that because I think there's a world where the Switch exists and Steam Deck exists. I don't think they cancel each other out. I feel like they continue to go forward.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is, are these two systems the future that everybody's going to try to emulate themselves off of? Because here's the reason why I say that is because before these two systems, everybody was trying to make a handheld gaming system. Nintendo is Nintendo's the pinnacle because every time they make one, it sells.
Yeah, so I mean,
And Steam Deck and Steam making their Deck, which is basically a vehicle for their Steam OS.
sure.
Is this something that manufacturers and people are going to look at and say, they made it work? They have two major companies who have made handheld gaming work.
Well, that's a loaded question to say that because it's not like when you say handheld gaming, you mean handheld gaming in the sense of you can take a big game on the go and play it on your TV, right? Because handheld gaming has been around forever.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, in this sense,
these AAA titles.
Sure.
So like you talked about, Disco Elysium is on the Switch. We talked about Destiny 2 is going to be on Steam Deck. We talked about that a lot of these PC games are console games. So Halo Infinite can be played on a PC. Is this the future where now it's not just like before we would make games for handheld?
sure.
And now you're able to take these AAA titles and play them on the go now.
In that sense, sure. I think that's definitely a thing. I wonder if we'll ever go back to a time where we have more diminutive sized handhelds that you have like a DS or something, because I really enjoyed the DS. I thought the DS was a great system. I don't know if we'll ever go back to something like that, but I think that was great, having those specifically curated handheld games. I think there is like at least two other companies who are working on handheld devices, and I can't think of their name because I'm not familiar with the companies that well, but I know they're working on handhelds like a Switch or like a OLED, or not an OLED, a Steam Deck. I think there's a rumor that Sony might get back into the handheld game, but they're always kind of dipping their toe in and out. And Microsoft, they were working on one, and then they put the kibosh on it, so I don't know if they're going back to it or not. But I could see more people making this type of handheld device, yeah.
Reason why I asked is because and somebody brought it up. Nope, I don't think so. If they is, they got us.
Yeah.
I think it was Ken from Chicago. Cloud gaming is in the future of gaming, and they talked about Amazon might have its own rival cloud gaming system. I honestly can see Amazon attempting to make a handheld because they want something that is tangible, that is a vehicle for their services. So we know
They do have cloud gaming out right now.
they have cloud
with,
gaming,
Luna.
and they also have their own tablets. They have their own Fire tablets. They also have their own video service. So them making a high version or a various stages, because also, correct me if I'm wrong, they sell TCL TVs, but were they the first to sell TCL TVs? Do they have? Does Amazon?
Amazon owns TCL?
Yeah. I don't know if they. I don't think they own it,
Oh.
but I know they were the ones where if you wanted a TCL TV, you got it from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And so I know other people do sell them now. So what I was thinking was, if you have content like an Apple, wouldn't you want your own device that allows people to go into your ecosystem,
Sure.
tied to your ecosystem? So I was just thinking, if Microsoft, it would be smart for Microsoft to have that, which would sell more Game Pass, because if you bought a handheld from Microsoft, it comes with Game Pass. You like, and that to me would be smart, in my opinion. That's why I said, is this the future of gaming? Because now you don't have to make certain things just for the handheld. The handhelds now can do everything a huge tower can do, or a console can do.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I get it will never look as good as a console.
I disagree.
I don't think not for the price.
But this,
I don't think we're in a place. I mean, maybe down the road, but I don't think the Steam Deck that you have now will ever look as good as like Horizon Zero Dawn.
it doesn't have to.
I know it doesn't have to. I'm just saying.
Well, I
think
guess what
it'll
I'm
look
saying
as
is
good.
I disagree with that in the sense of it will never look as good as Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS5 Forbidden West does. But Horizon Zero Dawn looks good on the Steam Deck because it is the same, it's upgraded hardware that was on your PS4 Pro, which ran Horizon Zero Dawn.
Right.
So
Sorry, I meant Forbidden West, but I get
so
what
that's
you're
what
saying.
so like, no, it's not going to look as good as your whatever high-end tower or PS5, but it looks good enough
Sure.
that you are able to play some of the most recent triple. Like right now, you can play God of War on a Steam Deck, and it looks just as good as it does on the PS4 Pro. Go look it up.
Okay. I mean, I don't have enough info to agree or disagree with that, but
I was
that
watching
sounds
the video. I was watching the video, and they were like,
That sounds
you can,
wild.
You can play this game just as well on a Steam Deck as you could on the PS4 Pro.
Okay.
And if you look at the components for Steam Deck, and somebody can go check it out.
Rayshon K says Best Buy was the first place where you could buy TCO.
Might have been when I was boycotting Best Buy. They owed me a $5 coupon, and I was mad that I did not get it. It also might have been my fault because I didn't open my email, but I still blame them for it.
I love it. Baby Toshiro says Steam Deck looks cheaper than a PS5 64GB version, but at $599 at $256, you might want to get that PS5 if and when it's available. That's still a big thing too, right? Is when does the price match up with the portability of it? I feel like a lot of that extra price you're paying for is having all that stuff in that small case. if there's ever a time when they somehow figure out what the components are to everything to make a super cheap portable that is just as powerful as a PS5, that's going to be crazy.
But see, I guess what I'm saying is, if they continue to update a Switch, update a Steam Deck, and people look at it and say, okay, that's what they did. This is what we can do.
Sure.
I think it's coming. In other words, the technology is there. Mm-hmm. They just haven't put enough effort into it to get it there. Because right now, and this is why I wouldn't buy a Switch. Can you play Netflix on a Switch unless you jailbroke it or did whatever you needed to do?
I don't need to play Netflix on the
But
Switch.
what I'm saying is, I would. And
Okay.
what I'm saying is, like, people buy tablets or phones so they can do all these different things in mobile gaming. Mm-hmm. For me personally, if I go on a trip, I can't take my console with me.
Well, you can't.
I'm not taking my console. I'm not unplugged. Like, I'm not that guy.
Oh.
See, I'm not.
Man.
Yeah.
I take my console everywhere.
See, I don't do that.
Okay.
My console's at home.
Okay.
Where it's supposed to be. I
I
take
take a console to a hotel all the time.
See, I won't.
I love it.
Because my thing is this: I come back in that hotel and that console's gone. Oh, y'all thought y'all see me mad.
I can see that.
You thought I was mad.
I mean, part of the fun for me is going to a hotel and figuring out what can I do how do I mess with this cable system that lets me access the HDMI ports. It was harder back when it was just RCA cables and stuff, but now everything's HDMI ports. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
And I use the hotel to sleep. Like, I don't ever stay. Like, remember when we went and you like took a day, and I was like, no, I'm leaving. Like, I'm gonna use this room to sleep in. I'm gonna do something. So that's why I don't take it. But I would like to take my handheld, like if I'm riding a bus or in the back
Fair
of
enough.
an Uber or something. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm looking to get one.
Okay. So is it the future? Sure.
Okay.
That answers that. Yep. I think it is the future. We get into this big topic.
Yeah. Go ahead. Introduce it.
Is Obi-Wan our only hope?
No,
Oh, I guess we're done then.
it's not.
All right. I mean, so the teaser trailer for Obi-Wan came out. It looks great. I'm really excited for it. I think you said you were excited for it. I am.
Are you more excited for this than you were a Book of Boba Fett?
Yes, but maybe
Why?
not Mandalorian though.
Which one? So which one are you more excited about? Which one were you? Which property?
Oh, I was more hyped for Mandalorian at that point than I am hyped for Obi-Wan.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Ewan McGregor is a great actor. He has been done dirty, and a lot of people have been done dirty in the prequel movies in terms of what they get to do.
You mean Hayden Christensen?
I still don't know that Hayden Christensen is anything. Sorry. Because even after the prequels, he did some other movies like I'm not feeling you. So
you didn't see Glass, or what was the?
I didn't. You're right.
There's-
The movies I did see, I was like, nope.
But I guess this is a problem. You can't use takers against him or Jumper.
Why can't those are different? Why not?
Because there were terrible movies. I don't hope like
Those are it's not one movie.
hold on. You can't hold all the terrible movies that Hayden Christensen has been in because there were other people who were in them, and you don't hold that against them. Samuel Jackson has been in a ton of terrible movies.
Yeah, but I mean his career's longer.
True, but we know Shattered Glass. Thank you. But we know the people who were in the prequels who did not have a career before the prequels did not survive. Unless you were Ian McGregor, who was in Trainspotting, or if you were not, what's the boy's name who wanted to kill black people? Ra's al Ghul from Batman.
Oh,
Liam Neeson.
Taken, man.
Liam Neeson or Padme. If you weren't one of those three people, you didn't work pretty much afterwards. Yeah. I mean, the prequels were a dead-end sentence unless you were Samuel L. Jackson. Unless you were one of those people, the prequels were the end of your career.
Right, but I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about beyond the prequels. The other movies I saw him in, I didn't care.
But again,
So I'm not worried about Hayden Christensen, whether or not he's whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is Ewan McGregor. I'm excited to see what he can do in this. I'm really excited that Star Wars is doing more with expanded lore and working with the video game canon and making all that stuff canon. It's like, oh, this is after, what was the game?
What?
What's the game that has the Inquisitors?
You brought it up.
I know. What's the game? With
I sent it to you.
I don't know.
You'll get there.
I won't. Anyway, that game, I'm excited that setting with the Inquisitors is coming in here, and I'm excited to see maybe some more Jedi fighting and him being like one of the last remaining Jedi and how he's hiding out and whatever. Side note, Uncle Owen, man, he looked good. The actor,
Joel Egerton.
he looks good.
Well, I mean, he was like 12 in the first one, so. And he hadn't really aged that much.
I'm just saying, he looks the same as when I remember him from,
Yeah.
I guess that was 3 or whatever. But, yeah.
See, I looked at it, what is the future for Star Wars?
Fallen Order. Thank you, people. Fallen Order.
Yeah, I knew you guys would get it. I'm going to go tell you though. So Zayla Naru brings up a good point. Obi-Wan is the one show all Star Wars fans were asking for. This, for a while, there were 3 movies everybody wanted made. It was Obi-Wan, it was a Boba Fett movie, and people wanted a Darth Vader movie. Especially after Rogue One, they were like, "Oh, we want that." And Star Wars pivoted to television shows, and the reason why I have these 3 up here is because this is the future of Star Wars right now. As we know, these 3 series are greenlit in production, and we have actors cast.
Mm-hmm. Is there another Boba Fett season? Do we know?
That's a good question.
Okay.
It has not been announced yet.
Okay.
We believe.
We don't need it.
I mean, but we'll get to that. So, here's what we know as far as television wise is the future of Star Wars. How do you feel about Star Wars right now?
I'm not tired of it.
Okay, that's
I'm not jazzed. I mean, if I'm looking at all the Disney properties, I'm real hyped for Doctor Strange. Marvel. I don't have any Marvel fatigue. I have a slight Star Wars fatigue.
Okay, let's expound upon that. Why?
Yeah.
What is it about? What has given you?
Oh, I mean,
pause?
we've talked about this before, but I'm really done with the Skywalkers.
Okay.
And all that. I mean, in this galaxy far, far away, man, the Skywalkers are involved in everything.
So what would, and guys, I'm going to open this. I bought 2 of them, man. Calm down. I told you I was going to buy them.
I know, but I was just trying to buy into it if you're opening it. But yeah.
I was like, calm down, sir.
So yeah, let's we talked about that game that
you just got told that.
No,
oh,
Fallen Order.
I was like,
shut up.
I was like,
we talked about that game that was the bounty hunter game that people were really looking forward to. That was something that was hopefully not going to be, not involving the Skywalkers. You know, that would have been cool. It's just nice to see something else besides Jedis and Skywalkers. So, give me other stuff in the universe. Give me other stuff to explore. Having said that, I want to see Ewan McGregor. I want to see Obi-Wan, but I would be happy with something else, something new.
So right now, here's the slate of Star Wars properties that we're going to get in the next 3 to 4 years.
We are looking at an IGN article group chat to know what we are. So we got Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, May 25th. Bad Batch Season 2 Andor TV series, Mandalorian Season 3. This says Book of Boba Fett Season 2 TBD. So I guess that kind of mean whatever. Rangers of the New Republic TV series, possibly canceled. What? There's a lot going on. Woohoo! There we go.
It's the first time I ever opened one.
Was it Acolyte TV series?
Yep.
Lando TV series,
based on the High
Rogue
Republic.
Squadron.
Yep.
Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, Taika Waititi Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Untitled J.D. Dillard, Matt Owens movie.
And that's from the writer of Dear White People and the director of Slight.
Okay. Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy reportedly canceled, and then Benioff and Weiss from Game of Thrones, their stuff has been canceled.
Yes.
So yeah, got a bunch of stuff. All that sounds great. I want to see what some of that stuff is. So I feel like in a year and a half or so, I'll be more hyped for Star Wars again once I see what the future is beyond Jedis.
Okay.
That's for me. But Ewan McGregor is such a good actor and so charismatic in his role. I would like to see him. And he now part of this could be him being a hype man for his show, but he keeps talking about you guys are gonna freak when you see Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
I believe
so.
so.
I'm excited just to see what it is. I'm hoping it's not just hype to get the series ready.
I believe so.
So we'll see.
But that's just me. Because I'm not a hater like Michael is.
I mean,
I believe in redemption.
Baby Toucher said, "Thank goodness for those cancellations."
Really?
That's what I'm saying. Some people are like, I think the longer Star Wars goes on, it definitely loses some of the luster for some people.
Really?
I think so.
That's interesting.
I think as more stuff gets made, people are like,
there.
this is not hitting on anything. You're kind of telling the same stories. I think Marvel is in a different boat because even though the comics have been around forever, the movies have really only been around for 15 years or so. Like the Marvel Studios movies.
Okay.
Marvel Studios movies.
Okay.
We're not talking about all those old bad ones. We're talking about, Marvel Studios. So they're kind of fresher in people's minds, and they're kind of playing with house money, as it were, because they still haven't really. We talk about this all the time, but of the Marvel Studio movies, I don't hate any of them. I just find some of them rather slow, like Thor, Dark World, and Hulk. But I don't hate any of the Marvel movies.
Which Hulk?
Incredible Hulk.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Then that's the Eric Bana one.
Oh, is that what that one was?
I'm asking. I don't know.
No. I'm talking about Marvel Studio stuff.
No, no.
Not the one with Eric Bana. I'm talking about with Edward Norton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You thought that was slow?
I thought it was.
Okay.
It's kind of like, all
I
right.
actually liked it.
Yeah.
Although I heard Edward Norton was kind of
Yeah, there's a good Marvel Studios making of their whole franchise saga, or whatever. That's a really good book, like 2-part book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. Talks about that, how they had to part ways with him.
I hear a lot of people had to part ways with him.
Well,
I'm just like I hear he's very difficult.
he's an actor's actor, right? He wants to get it right, I guess. I've been talking a lot about Star Wars. Why are you excited for this?
I'm excited for this because and I'm trying to read all the comments, but I'm excited because not for Ewan McGregor, but I'm excited for Hayden Christensen. I'm excited because I've always wanted to see more of what it was like for the character that became Darth Vader from Anakin in that time from when he was basically the savior of the Republic, the chosen one. Got it. Man, this was worth it. Okay. It's the first one I opened.
Okay.
I've never opened one before.
Cool.
This is Paz Vizsla. If you guys have watched The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, you know who that is. This is the Carbonite graphic one. You can get it from Target. It's an exclusive. I did not.
Target did not pay for this ad.
No, they did not. But it's the only place you can get it, unless you buy it on eBay.
Okay.
I did not buy the original one that came in the red back, but I bought this one because I just liked the way this one looked. And I have another one because I bought it when it first was announced, and I saw this on the shelf when I was buying children's books. Okay. And I was like, okay. So I buy the carbonized and anything that's Ahsoka.
Got it.
So I'm excited because I'm excited for Darth Vader. I'm a fan of Darth Vader, I like the idea of how this person who was the chosen one, this journey. I know a lot of people are like, Luke Skywalker. I was never one of those fans. And
Somebody said they would be excited with a movie about the grandchild of Luke Skywalker. I can't remember, somebody said that in there.
Yeah, so that's Star Wars Legacy.
Okay.
That was that actually is a good read. The Empire comes back, but it's a benevolent emperor. It's not like a crazy emperor. And they bring back the Jedi Order in a weird like, they're not Sith.
Okay.
So, but it's still the Empire, so people still have, and Luke Skywalker's son is like a junkie, and he flies a ship called the Minok. So it's a very interesting series. this is the future of Star Wars as it stands right now. So Ahsoka, The Mandalorian, and Boba Fett. I personally have never been a big fan of Boba Fett.
We know.
I've just never. People want it.
What you say? Boba Fett and Master Chief are the same person?
Same person. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now. After the book of Boba Fett, Master Chief's a better character. And I'm gonna go on record, and I'm calling it now. Halo's gonna be a better show than the book of Boba Fett.
Interesting. I mean, that'll be fun to watch. When does that start? End of March?
Yeah.
Okay.
March 24th, I believe.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm excited for Obi-Wan. However, one of the problems Star Wars has had is that they're scared to be different. And they have this... Because to me, Solo was just... A lot of people credit Solo for the downward spiral. And I don't credit Solo for that. I put that on management in Star Wars for not letting Solo be whatever Solo was supposed to be.
Man, let Lord Miller...
let them cook.
Let Lord Miller work
Let
on
them
that
cook.
movie.
Like, and so, because here's my thing. Something may not be great, but I will let a creator do what they want to do without interference from the studio. I am not a fan of the Snyderverse. Mm-hmm. I do not like Justice League. Either one of them. Mm-hmm. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League is a better movie than what Buffy Dude did.
The theatrical version we got of Justice League, sure.
I think that's a better movie. Mm-hmm. I still don't like it. It's still not my cup of tea. But that doesn't mean I'm not hating on it. Like, I'm one of those people who's like, if it ain't bothering me, mm-hmm. let those fans enjoy it. Let them have it. So let Solo have been whatever it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I personally like The Last Jedi. We have had this We've had this conversation. I like what The Last Jedi tried to do, and I would rather see. People who are like, the Force is a religion. Let's get this out of the way. The Force is a religion. And in every religion, there are sects. There are different people who believe different things. Mm-hmm. Show me how the Force and the Jedi practice their faith. Show me, and that's why I like The Last Jedi. You saw someone who gave up on their religion. Mm-hmm. You know, like R.E.M. said, losing my religion, trying to keep an eye on, like, I didn't mind it. Uh-huh. So I'm excited for Obi-Wan because when I saw that trailer, and I'm tired of Tatooine, but he leaves, so cool. But when I saw the Inquisitors, live action Inquisitors, when I heard the Duel of Fates, that's when I got, because the prequels get a bad rap. And I like the fact that Filoni and Jon Favreau are trying to rehab the prequels.
Sure.
For those people who came in.
Somebody, was it? Kid from Chicago. Star Wars, The Old Republic cinematic trailers, and Dave Filoni prove Star Wars Jedi Sith are not the problem. It's poor writing that's the problem.
So yeah. I'm going to say this, and this is we talked about with Batman. Here's the problem right now with the Boba Fett show. And here's what I will say when we're talking about... Can you guys see him? Is he in frame? I'm trying to make sure. I mean, I paid for him, so y'all go see him.
I mean, he's right there. You pointing? Yeah, we can see it. Okay. There, but okay.
Here's the problem, and I'm going to say this, and some people not going to like it. Mm-hmm. And Baby Toshiro, Last Jedi didn't almost kill Star Wars. You can't kill Star Wars. You can't. The fans won't let you. Boba Fett wanted to be what Matt Reeves did with the Batman. The way they put out Boba Fett, and Avery said this, and I remember we were in a group chat, and Avery said, Boba Fett has always been cool. And I asked him, why was he cool? And everybody's like, he looked cool. but he did nothing that was cool, right? In the Batman, if you guys have seen it, and I'm not going to spoil anything, did he ever call himself the Batman?
I mean, I feel like answering that might spoil it for people.
It's not a spoil. What I'm saying is, he never said, I'm Batman. Did he? How many times did Boba Fett take his helmet off and say he was Boba Fett?
Mm-hmm. That's how he talked to people.
And what I'm saying is, they tried to. You had all of this mysticism, all of this character development that you could have done with this show, and you had 6 episodes, and couldn't even come to the. You couldn't even get what they did in 3 hours of the Batman, which you couldn't do in 6 hours.
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. Those weren't like full hour episodes. I feel like it might have been 40 minutes.
Okay. 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. How much time did Boba Fett get? The Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
How much time did that show get? That's his show.
Yeah.
How long was the Batman?
2 hours and 55 minutes.
If the Batman walked in right now or Boba Fett walked in right now, who are you more scared of?
I mean, probably the Batman.
There you go.
I don't know what point you were.
What I'm saying is, to me, a lot of people trash The Last Jedi. They talked about it in here. Last Jedi almost killed Star Wars. I'm going to tell you right now, what's going to kill Star Wars is people holding on to these characters and thus not getting and wanting these characters. I'm excited for Obi-Wan, but you know what I was more excited for?
What's that?
Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
You know why?
Because there's something different.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars needs to be
different-ish, because it was still talking about Death Star stuff.
It was still talking about Death Star, but it was a different slice of the Star Wars universe. It had no Jedi. It was basically that wasn't a Jedi.
Those two aren't Jedi?
Who?
Donnie Yen and his boy.
See, that's a good question, and
I'm honestly asking.
I really don't know.
What do y'all think? Were they Jedi?
I don't know, and
maybe they just practiced the Jedi faith.
Well, this is the thing. They practiced the Jedi faith, and they were Force sensitive. Well, Donnie Yen was Force sensitive, but I don't know if he was a Jedi.
Okay.
So again, I don't know, but again, what I would like to say is that Boba Fett did not meet the mark, and there were moments that it was good, and those moments was 2 episodes.
You got notes on it. What are these 2 episodes, sir?
Actually, it was 1 episode.
Wow.
Directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
She's
Chapter 5, The Return of Mandalorian.
I think when we reviewed The Mandalorian, I was giving Bryce Dallas Howard slack.
Oh yeah, you were.
Flat. I apologize. I've already said I apologize, but I'll apologize again. She's been killing it. Somebody said they wanted Bryce Dallas Howard to do something. Like, yeah, I agree. Let her do whatever she wants in the Star Wars universe. Everything she touches has been really good. And
so out of the whole show, Avery brought it up. The blind guy was definitely not no, that's Zaylen Rowe. No, he was Guardians of the Wheels. Rachel K says he was not a Jedi. Kim from Chicago brings up Fennec Shand was always awesome. Fennec Shand was a good character, and Fennec Shand in Boba Fett's own show basically nullified the entire show, because if she could have done that in the first episode.
Yeah, give me a show about her.
And to me, the future of Star Wars are these properties that may not have anything to do with the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. Let's go outside of that. Let's see what else is out there, because some of the most interesting characters are brand new characters. The Mandalorian's a brand new character. Ahsoka was from the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. You got your Boba Fett show, and are you satisfied? If it doesn't come back, is there going to be an uproar?
Probably not.
Let the Mandalorian not come back.
Yeah.
Let you not get a 3rd season of The Mandalorian. They will storm the gates of that galaxy, whatever, But that's what I'm saying. Like the future of Star Wars, and we talked about this when you went through. We don't have whether or not the Book of Boba Fett will get a season 2. We don't need one, in my opinion. Season 3 of Mandalorian, people want to see that. The Andor TV series is supposed to come out this year. However, here's my question for Andor: how dark are they going to get? And 2, do you have a lot of stakes in this show if you already know he survives?
Sometimes.
I'm honestly asking.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you know the fate of a character, it's more about like what they do around
The journey of the character, yeah.
I will use the show Supernatural as an example. That show went 15 seasons, I believe, on the CW. Mm-hmm. And around season 4 or 5,
I'm gonna still keep playing
the
this.
showrunner made mention that Sam and Dean will never die. So go ahead and get that out of your head now. And then the show became less about whether or not they were going to die and how they interact with other characters. And I think the show pulled it off, even though it should have ended with the yellow-eyed demon, but that's fine. They found a way to reboot it or revamp it and make it keep going, which is fine. But it was at that point it became more about how do they interact with all the characters around them. So even if we know the fate of Cassian Andor, it could be how he works with everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason why I ask that is because I have been very rarely does a show that has a prequel interest me, because now I will say this: the last season of the Clone Wars, seeing how Order 66 was executed with Ahsoka, all of that was one of the few times that I've actually watched basically a prequel and was like, they did a good job. That, like, the last season to me, that wrapped up, which basically goes into the Empire's here. That was one of the few times that I've been, like, watching a prequel and I was like, oh, I see what they did. That was worth it for them to do it. Oh, that's how it goes.
BBP, how do you feel how the new shows are hard retconning the OG series?
When you mean the OG series, explain. Because I like, do you mean the original trilogies? Do you mean the prequels?
And Damon Hernandez, my question is, when the Rogue movie coming out and why is it taking so damn long?
Creative differences. The Rogue Squadron movie is under creative differences with Patty Jenkins and Star Wars for what they want. And this is a problem that we've had for a while with Star Wars properties, that there's been a lot of creative differences from what the higher-ups have wanted Star Wars to be.
Yeah.
And what the actual directors have wanted.
Oh, okay. BPP, go back. He says the trilogy, the original first trilogy, 4, 5, and 6.
I think if you're going to have any expanded universe, you're going to retcon some stuff. Marvel's done it, and it's worked out to their advantages. But
like we said, 40 years of Star Wars. Eventually,
some stuff, yeah.
you can't. Nobody thinks that far in advance.
And
so
here's
you
the
gotta
thing.
do whatever you can.
And I know a lot of people are upset, and some people brought it up, and I know they were like, they felt some kind of way. You had to get. And Carlos de Leon, I understand where you're coming from. Here's the problem. You don't know that. Everybody wants to blame Kathleen Kennedy because someone said something. We don't know if it's Kathleen Kennedy because that's the only name we know. Mm-hmm. And we know that because that's the person who we think is the equivalent of Kevin Feige.
Well, I think that's safe to say she is the equivalent of Kevin Feige.
But what I'm saying is, you can't just blame it on one person who's wrecking this entire stuff.
Sure.
In other words, it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy's fault that the scripts were not written for the 3 movies that came out. Mm-hmm. And they just let each director do whatever they wanted to do. That there were many balls dropped. And to say everything is Kathleen Kennedy's fault, then it ignores and doesn't acknowledge the fact that under her leadership, you got The Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. In other words, you can't have it both ways. She can't be the doom of all Star Wars, and then she gave you guys The Mandalorian and Grogu. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people who...
Rayshon Case talking about Bob Iger said it was his fault for not putting Solo out in December.
He has said that there have been issues, and Baby Tashiro says creative differences what are these directors thinking? An established franchise is not going to let you come in and go wild. And that's part of the problem. You hire these people, and I don't know if there's been a clear delineation of what they want Star Wars to be.
Sure.
And part of the problem is you have to try new things. I like, even though it didn't work, as far as like what everybody thought it was going to be. I like Star Wars Visions. I like the idea of having something totally different.
Somebody else brought that up too, Star Wars Vision.
Star Wars Visions
It
was
was
a good
something
idea.
different.
Something different.
Yep.
I would like to see Star Wars take the approach, and this is going to be wild, and y'all are going to freak when I say this. Star Wars needs to do a little bit of what Warner Brothers is doing.
What does that mean?
Have some stuff and just make it that. Just make you a Star Wars movies like the Joker. In other words,
Oh, you're saying everything doesn't need to be connected.
in other words, this is a galaxy far, far away.
Sure.
Go ham. Like, in other words, everything doesn't have to tie to everything. In order for you to get a good Star Wars, you had to get rid of the expanded universe. Do you know why you had to get rid of that? Because the expanded universe was basically a blueprint, so nothing was ever going to be new. You had to get rid of it so you could do your own thing. So you weren't tied to this. Go ham. The High Republic's a great idea. Go further. It's space magic. Don't explain it. Like when they do like midichlorian, like I don't need a lesson on go 300 years into the future.
I think one thing that we can kind of see, and this is only going to be a basic statement with no super evidentiary facts in it, but
That's what we excel at.
that's I think there's a clear connection between when Star Wars does this cool idea, and then when they try to expand upon it and explain it, it kind of defeats the magic.
Yep.
Like going in and doing a background on Boba Fett kind of took away some of his magic for a lot of people.
Not only that,
Going and talking about midichlorians versus what the Force is took away some of the
it's space magic.
yeah.
They're space wizards.
Giving Solo a backstory didn't really need it.
Nope.
So it's kind of like always doing this backstory stuff doesn't necessarily work, and it's just you don't necessarily need to know where everything works. It just works.
It just works.
Yeah.
Perfect example. And again, I'm not going to spoil, but one of the things that I think two things that comes to mind when I think of you don't need to tell everything. The Batman that just came out, one of the things that I liked about the movie, and we can go in more depth later, they didn't explain everything. That was one of the things that I think Christopher Nolan did in his series, which I thought it worked for him. In the Batman, it just worked. It just worked. Like in the Batman, it was like, oh, he can do this. They just kept going. We didn't get a rehash of the parents dying.
I feel like you're just telling people stuff.
That's stuff that Matt Reeves said he wasn't going to do.
Okay.
Matt Reeves said he was like, I'm not doing that. You are not going to see Thomas and Martha Wayne be killed in this movie.
Okay.
Explain to me, why do we need to keep seeing that? The Batman is one of the most recognizable symbols. I guarantee you more people know who the Batman symbol is versus the Russian flag.
Could be.
So you don't need to explain it. Another example, Spider-Man. Do you need to see Uncle Ben get killed every single time? Or do we know who Spider-Man is?
Yeah.
Star Wars. I got an idea. Stop trying to explain stuff like you said. It just is space magic.
Yeah.
Boba Fett is a notorious killer who wanted to be a crime boss.
A bad one, apparently.
He was terrible at it. How do you spend all that time hanging out with crime bosses and you're not good at it?
I don't know.
You know what Boba Fett reminded me of?
What?
Reminded me of people we work with who have done a job, and you're like, you've done this job how long, and you're bad at this part of the job?
No comment. Not getting me involved in that.
But you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about Star Wars.
That's the same thing. Because they can't explain it either.
It's all space magic.
No, what I'm saying is not every story has to be a grand epic. I'm not asking for that. What I'm saying is everything doesn't have to be tied to the original trilogy and doesn't have to explain every minutia. So right now I have the First Order back there, Stormtrooper, right? Guess what? Stormtroopers are cool.
Jalen Maru said Boba Fett recruited the J. Crew catalog.
He did.
I never heard him described like that, but I like that.
What you called them? What, the neutrinos?
The neutrinos from the Ninja
That was
Turtles.
terrible.
Yeah.
That was, you know what? I'm sorry. It wasn't terrible. It was out of out of
weird.
character.
Yeah.
It really was weird. So here's the thing. The reason why I think Rogue One worked is because Rogue One was the Dirty Dozen of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do the Fast and Furious of Star Wars. Make it like that's what they should have done with Solo. Let Solo be whatever it was.
I think it would be cool, like if Star Wars really wanted to like do different genres of movies in Star Wars. Give me a murder mystery. Give me a comedy. You know, like just a pure comedy. I think that would be cool.
Give me a murder mystery in Coruscant where you gotta go down there and you have to go to the underworld. Mm-hmm. You're not a Jedi. You're just a regular dude who give me, the crime noir where you got to go down there and you got to rescue this Twi'lek's husband or whatever, and you find out she's you wasted Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, for sure.
You fried Jennifer Beals.
And I guess they kind of did that with, even though it was like in the era of Skywalker and stuff. At least with the Mandalorian, you did kind of have like a lone wolf and cub situation type with him and Grogu.
So what?
For Mandalorian, having Grogu was like lone wolf and cub and type.
Oh yeah, that's
so,
that's literally what it was.
So I mean that they were kind of expanding. I think that showed great success. So continue to do that with other genres, I guess.
But this is another thing that I think that a lot of people don't realize and this is why I said I really don't like Boba Fett in the sense of how well they got this done. So here's the thing: when the Mandalorian came out, it was super secret. They hid Grogu. Because a lot of times they announce, a lot of you guys who watch toys, or who watch toy news, or who follow stuff like that, a lot of times you can spoil things because you can release an action figure or a particular toy that comes out in the series. We saw that in the Civil War. We knew that we were going to get a Giant Man because Funko released a Giant Man Funko Pop.
Right.
Dave Filoni, and I think it was John Favreau. John Favreau told Star Wars, when they see Grogu, they're going to freak. They did not send Grogu out to any toy companies. Mm-hmm. And they let the end of that episode happen. And we were all like, what the... we all freaked out. I bring that up in the sense of that was a strategic thing in storytelling that they did that sacrifice money for the sake of storytelling.
Yeah.
In the Boba Fett show, he rides a Rancor. Before Boba Fett came out, they had a HasLab for Rancor that did not get funded. Mm-hmm. How do you not have a Rancor not get funded, and you literally had an effing show where one of the main things in the show was a Rancor, because you put the Rancor out before the show came out. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? That's where we're having this disconnect. The people will support good storytelling, obviously good toys. Mm-hmm. Sure. How much Star Wars stuff you got, sir?
Nowhere near as much as you.
But
I have I probably have more photos and paintings and stuff.
But
collectibles, but yeah.
Ninja Turtles. How much Ninja Turtles?
Oh,
how much Power Ranger stuff you have?
Tons of stuff.
So if you love it, we will support it. So
right.
What I'm saying is, you dropped a huge ball. Mm-hmm. Where you got, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How did you mess this up when you got that right? And that's where I don't understand, and that's why I can't blame it all on Kathleen Kennedy. There's other people who are messing up, and I don't know how they messed this up when you got this right.
Well, we don't have enough time to go into it, but I think just quickly, I think it goes back to who the character is, right? Maybe we don't need to know the backstory of Boba Fett. Maybe we don't care enough.
I don't mind if you know the backstory. The problem that I have is you didn't do a good job. Because here's the thing. You brought in Cad Bane. Cad Bane's entrance was cooler than anything Boba Fett did. Mm-hmm. When you saw him walk in, right? And you saw him talk to Cobb Vanth, and you were like, he was like, hey, man, this belongs to the Syndicate. You knew what was going to happen, but you still enjoyed it. And there's a lot of that was missing in Boba Fett. And I'm hoping with Obi-Wan, it looks as if that may right the ship. My question is, with all this other stuff they got going on, how good or bad is this stuff going to be? Because you have this Lando series. Are we going to get both Billy D. Williams and... Like, was Billy D. Williams going to narrate the show, and then Atlanta is going to be starring in it? And will I get Zazie Beetz?
That man's name is not Atlanta. Jesus.
But, like, what is the... Like, and here's another thing. I understand Star Wars is for kids. It's supposed to be for all ages. I understand that. The Batman was for all ages, too. And...
You talking about the one we just saw was for all ages?
PG-13, sir.
That's not all ages.
What?
All ages would be G or PG.
But what I'm saying is, you can do PG-13 stuff in Star Wars.
Sure.
And I guess what I'm saying, and the reason why I keep bringing up Star Wars and the Batman in the same sentence is because there are things that were done in the Batman, just the way he walked. If you watch the trailer, when you saw the second trailer, when he crashed that car, and he walks up, and you saw the trailer, and you saw Penguin's like, I got you. Mm-hmm. That's what Boba Fett should have been. Mm-hmm. When Boba Fett steps out, when Mando stepped, like when everybody saw him, everybody was like, my man said, I can take you in hot, or I can take you in cold. Mm-hmm. Where was that?
You done dogging on Boba Fett now?
I'm not. Okay. I can keep going. But I'm saying, but I guess that's the problem I have with that. And a lot of people say The Last Jedi. I'm sorry. For me, Boba Fett was my Last Jedi.
Okay.
And I like The Last Jedi. Because I'm going to tell you right now, name me a better lightsaber battle than what happened in The Last Jedi.
I don't even remember it.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
How you going to tell me? I'm telling you now I don't.
You do remember because we talked about it.
Which one was Last Jedi?
The one where him and Rey had to fight with the Snoke's guards.
So the middle one?
Yeah.
The new trilogy? Mm-hmm. Okay. What was the last one called in that?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Man, I can't.
That's the one you can't remember.
Subtitles, I'll tell you, boy.
But
Star Wars movies.
The Last Jedi, I remember we talked about, you were like, there were some cool things. You were like, the coolest thing that ever happened in The Last Jedi was that fight with Rey, and where she pulled the lightsaber, and that whole thing. I'm going to tell you right now, so say whatever you will, Boba Fett did not have that moment. Like, the coolest thing that happened was the Mandalorian.
I don't know. I think Fennec Shan wrecking shop at the end was pretty cool. I wish it happened earlier, but I thought that was pretty cool.
But here's the problem that I had with that part. You just made all 6 episodes of this worthless. Because if she could have done this in all...
Sure.
And that's what I think... That's what I want to see more of. And Kim Chicago brings it up. Every lightsaber battle in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, that feeling, that's what I want. And I got that from Obi-Wan. I got that feeling again with Obi-Wan. But let's see. Because I don't know if they can... I'm scared they can't duplicate it again. Bank757 says Boba and Mando teaming up to fight the Pikes. That was cool. It was okay.
Cool. Wrap this up.
You wrap it up.
All right, folks, we got to go. Hey, what got you through the week?
Oh, the library.
Okay.
I've been reading about 5 or 6 books a night.
Okay, cool. I finally finished Final Fantasy 15. I put 90 plus hours in the game. That was a very fun game. For any, I would say if you haven't played a Final Fantasy game in a while, I would say pick up 15.
Oh, this
It's
like
fun.
This.
If you
you're
are,
dumb.
if you've never played a Final Fantasy game, it might be in the JRPGs. I would also say pick up 15. The dynamic between the four characters, the four main cast of characters, is really good. And it doesn't take 90 hours. I was just doing so many side quests and stuff, but that probably got me through the week finishing that game. I started playing the Gunk, which was an Xbox exclusive. That's a fun little game that I'm enjoying now. I think that might be like 3 or 4 hours, but yeah.
Somebody
those are things.
said your man looks like he drops common loot when he dies.
Jeez, that's rough. The Tourist got me through the week. Great show.
I've seen that pop up on HBO Max.
So maybe I'll check that out.
With Christian Grey.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, Jamie Dorman.
Okay, I didn't even really see the face. I just saw the title. Cool.
Oh, I got it in.
Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Anything else you got?
What did I say got me through the week?
You just said the library.
Oh yeah, and buying toys. I got a problem, y'all.
Buying and playing with toys.
I'm back playing with them too, man. I be walking around the house with them.
Yes.
Like I can't wait. I have all of these right here, but I'm telling you right now, when my sons get of age, they can have them. I don't buy anything that they can't have.
We almost had a 2-hour stream. Did you have a 2-hour stream?
No, we started at 8:30.
I mean, it's only 9:44.
Is it?
Yeah. I hope you're not looking at that. You know that's wrong. But yeah, Leroy has to go back to work.
I don't have to.
Leroy wants to get paid, so he needs to go back to work.
Okay, great. Stuff to watch. Severance. Okay, I'm going to check that out.
So next week, hopefully, we'll be back to the Saturday schedule because I go back to work. So not the, what's today, the 11th? So the 12th. So the 19th, hopefully, we should be back with the stream on the 19th.
Yeah.
We'll figure out time for all that stuff. Follow us here on YouTube. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Give me the dark saber.
That's it. We out. Peace. Thanks for joining us. Sign us off.
Peace. You are no longer a Mandalorian. You took your helmet off.